everyone, in this video we are going to discuss the trial paper for Negeri Sembilan. Alright, let's continue with question 21. Okay, the diagram 11 shows the position and the direction of two unnamed vehicles called drones. So you have P and Q here. So P move in the direction of the wind and Q move in opposite direction of the wind. So the velocity of the wind is given by, so let us just write down some important information first. So the velocity of the wind is given I minus 1 over 4j. And the velocity of the drone P is given 3I minus j. And for Q is 7I minus 17 over 8j. Okay, so the question wants us to find out how many times the resultant velocity of drone Q compared to the resultant velocity of drone P. So which means we might need to find out what is the resultant velocity for P and Q respectively before we can do the comparison. Okay, so from the given information, we know that P move in the direction of the wind. Okay, so the idea is something like this. So let me try to explain it in an easy way. So when we say that P move in the direction of the wind, right, which means that if let's say this is the direction that the wind blows, which means that the drone move in the same direction of the wind. So the resultant velocity will be both of them plus together. Okay, and Q move in opposite direction of the wind. So which means if let's say the wind blows like this, then the drone move in opposite side. So which means that it's like it's a very logical thing. You just think of if you try to push something and something pull you over the other side, right? Then the resultant force will be reduced, right? Then after that, it will be a minus. Okay, so which means that for us to find the resultant velocity for P, all right, it will be equal to the speed, the original velocity of P, then you need to plus the velocity of the wind. Okay, yeah, because like the wind will help the drone for P to actually move faster. All right, so from here, then I'll be able to get the answer 4I minus 5 over 4j. Okay, whereas the other side, so for Q is the opposite one, right? So meaning that for the resultant velocity for Q is going to be the original velocity, which is 7I minus 17 over 8j. And after that, minus, okay, because they move in opposite direction. So minus the wind velocity. Okay, so from here, then I'll be able to get 6I, then negative 17 over 8 minus become plus. So I'll get negative 15 over 8j. All right, so after we get the answer, then now we can do the comparison. So how many times the resultant force of Q compared to the resultant velocity of P? So which means we can always try to put it in such a way like Q equal to Kp. So K is like the how many times, like the scalar quantity. All right, then after that, just substitute the numbers that we have. So for I, sorry, we start from the Q first. So 6I minus 15 over 8j equal to K. Then after that, 4I minus 5 over 4j. All right, then now we can try to do the comparison. So which means the I and the I, right? So 6 will be equal to 4K. And from here, then I'll be able to get K equal to 3 over 2. All right, then you can use the J to actually help you to check your answer. So negative 15 over 8 might equal to negative 5 over 4K. So by using your calculator, you'll be able to get the exact same answer, which is 3 over 2. All right, so this is how we try to solve question 21. All right, so move on to the next one. All right, question 22. So diagram 12 shows the graph for binomial distribution, which x is distribution for a binomial with n is 4, and then the probability of success is p. Okay, so this is the information that given. So the question wants us to find out to express p in terms of a. Okay, so let's try to check it out, like where is the a first. Okay, so A is actually the probability when x is equals to 4. Alright, so meaning that P x equal to 4 will be equal to A. Okay, so we know that for binomial distribution, right, the formula is given that Px equals to R equal to NCR PR Q n minus R, right? So which means that we'll be able to use this formula to actually help us to solve this question. So since we know that Px equals to 4 is A, right? And the question actually gives us 4 and P already. So the 4 here is the N, okay? Then P is the P lah, the probability for success. So when X equals to P, so 4, so meaning that N is 4, right? So 4 C, our R in this question is 4. Okay, then after that P, so P to the power of R, so R is 4. Okay, then after that Q to the power of n minus R. So n in this question is 4. So R is also 4. Okay, then equal to A. So 4C4 actually give me 1. Then Q to the power of 0 also give me 1. So I only left with P power 4 equals to A. Alright, so from here then I'll be able to get P equal to positive or negative square root, sorry, is a root of 4, power 4, and then A. But can we actually accept both positive and negative? Yeah, so when we try to learn P, right, what is P? P is the probability for success. And probability cannot be a negative number. So that's why P must be a positive number. So that's why P equal to only positive lah. 4 and A. So this will be your last answer. Okay, so let's see the next questions. Alright, question 23. So diagram 13 shows a distribution graph of the daily pocket money of students in a school. So the daily pocket money is normally distributed with a standard deviation of 4.50. So perhaps we can write down. So based on this graph, so we know that the mean is 7.40 and is given the standard deviation is 4.50. Alright, so the school has a rule that prohibits the students from bringing more than 15 ringgit to the school. So there are like 68 students that normally break this rule on any school day. So determine the total students in the school. Alright, so which means that before we can proceed to find the total number of students, we need to find what is the probability of the students breaking the rule first. So which means that we want to find what is the probability for a students bringing more than 15 ringgit to the school. Okay, yeah, because this distribution is the pocket money, right? So we want to find the probability for the students to bring more than 15 ringgit to the school. So the same thing, standardization. So change it to X. So X greater than 17 minus 7.4 divide by the standard deviation 4.5. Okay, X minus mean divide by standard deviation. So from here you can actually get PZ greater than 1.6989. So you can start to read the table, the normal distribution table, and you will be able to get the answer 0.0456. Okay, so after you found this, then meaning that now we have the probability, right? So the probability for students to bring more than 15 is equal to the number of the students who actually bringing more than 15. Then after that, divide by the total number that we want to find. So just substitute the information. So 0.0456 So the people that breaking the rule, the number of people that breaking the rule is 68, then over the total. All right. So continue the calculation, then you'll be able to find the answer, which is 1491. So make sure that you must always round it into the nearest number because we are talking about the total number of students. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for 23. So let's move on to 24. Alright, question 24. So the diagram here shows the logo formed by using a few square as shown in the diagram 14.2. The square are formed by using a piece of wire of length of 3 meter. Okay, so the design of logo is formed by putting the bigger square on the top of the smaller square. So what you can realize here is you have a smallest square here. Then after that, I put another square. Okay, and after I add another bigger square, right, it will form a few triangles in the logo. So for example, this is the first square. Then when I add in the second square, it will form 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 triangle. Then after that, I put in another bigger square and I'll be able to form 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 new triangle. Then when I continue for the fourth square, then I'll be able to get another addition 4 triangle. Okay, so that's the idea. So given that the length of the side of the smallest square is 2 cm, and the length of the side of the following square will increase by 2 cm. Okay, so which means if let's say the first one is 2, right, it's going to be 4. Okay, and another one is increase another 2 cm, so which means this will be 6. All right, so in the question we need to find the state whether the length of the wire is able to form a logo with 56 triangles or not, and you need to state your reason. Okay, so which means that in this question we'll need to find out how many square do we actually need if let's say we want to form a logo with 56 triangles first. Okay, so we know that when we try to add another square, right, it will actually form another 4 triangles when you try to add each square. So which means that for you to have 56 triangle, then which means that I can divide by 4, and the 14 tell me that I need to add 14 square in total so that I can get 56 triangles. Okay, yeah, I hope that you are with me. So meaning that I have my first triangle, after that I will need to add 14 square so that I can have a total of 56 triangles. So which means that 14 square is actually the number of triangles that I need to add. So, but in case I will need to plus the first one, which didn't create any triangle, right? So in total, I need 15 square. Okay, so which means in this question, actually I am having a AP or GP. So let's try to find it out. So you see, I want to find out whether the total length is enough or not for me to actually form 15 square here. So in this case, the first square, I actually already use up how much of the wire. So 2, 2, 2, 2, right? So which means in real, I actually use up 8 centimeter. Then when I move to the other one, it's going to be another 4 side, right? So I use up 16 centimeter. So when I move on to the next one, it will be 24. Okay, so another one, it will be 8. So 8 times 4, it will give me 32 and so on. So which means that I want to check if let's say I am creating 15 square, so what is the total wire that I need? All right, so meaning I will try to use the formula n over 2 and then 2a plus n minus 1d. All right, so we can substitute the number that we have here. So n, the number of square that we need is 15 square. Okay, and then 2, what is our a? The first term is 8. All right, and then plus, so 15 minus 1 and multiplied by the d. So you can see the d is at 8, 8, 8, right? So it's positive 8. All right, so after that, you can just use your calculator and you will be able to get 960. So what you can realize here is this is 960 cm, right? But actually when we try to compare, it's actually far more difference as well. So that's why the answer will be not able. Okay, so which means that not able to form a logo because 960 or 9.6 meter, yeah, is far greater than 3 meter. All right, so that's why the length of wire that you need is actually more than 3 meters. So that's the idea. All right, so let's try to look at the last question. All right, last question. So table here shows the tourism areas in Sabah, which are proposed by a tourism company. So we can see that there are 4 islands here and then 3 mountain and 3 shopping area. Okay. So the company plans to form a travel package which consists of 5 tourism area. So find the number of different travel packages that can be formed if let's say there's no restriction. Okay. So I guess it's quite easy question for part A. So which means that out of the 10 tourism area, I'm going to choose 5 for each of the packages. Alright, so why am I using C instead of P? Because when we talk about forming a travel package, the order of arrangement doesn't matter here. Okay, so that's why we use combination instead of like the permutation. So 10C5, then I can get my answer 252. Okay, so move on to B. So find the number of different packages that can be formed if let's say the package must consist of all categories and at least 2 shopping area. So which means that we need to have at least 2 shopping areas. So it can be 2 or 3 because they use the word at least, right? So you cannot have more than 3 because eventually you only have 3 shopping area here. And must consist of all category. So it will be helpful that for us to just list down what is the probability, what is the possible outcome in this question first. Okay, so let's start with the first one. If let's say consists of all category, right, which means that I will have a probability which I will have 1 island, 1 mountain, and then 3 shopping area. You get what I mean, right? Because I can have at least 2 shopping area. So one of the scenario is 1 island, 1 mountain, and 3 shopping area. Then, what is the other one? Then I will have probability for, yeah, if let's say now I already finished the 3 one, so meaning I have 2 shopping area now. So it can be 1 island and then 2 mountain and 2 shopping area. Okay, then the last one, just now we talked about 2 mountain, right? So now I can also have 2 island, 1 mountain, and 2 shopping area. So do I still have other scenario? No, no more. Yeah, because I need to have at least 2 shopping area. So which means that I will have like IMMSS, then after that IIMSS. So the arrangement doesn't matter here, right? So that's all for our uh, for the possible scenario. Okay, so let's try to form the first, find out what is the number of the combination for the first one. So if I were to choose 1 island out of the 4, which means that I will have 4C1. Okay, then after that multiply by M, so meaning out of the 3 mountain, I'm going to choose 1. Then for the last one, yeah, which means we know that for the all shopping area, we'll choose all. So you can just multiply by 1, or if you write 3C3, it's going to be the same thing as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then after that, the second one, so which means that I'm going to choose 1 island as well. So 4C1, 2 mountain, so 3C2, and 2 shopping area, so 3C2. And the last one, I'm going to choose 2 islands, so 4C2, 1 mountain, 3C1, and then 2 shopping area, so 3C2. Alright, so from here, then I'll be able to get my answer. So for the first one, I'll be able to get 12. Okay, then after that, plus the second one is 36, and the last one is 55. Alright, so I'm just going to plus them all together, then I'll be able to get 102. Alright, so that's it for the paper 1 for Negeri Sembilan. Thank you.